play, rest.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm Ethan Bianchi, and I have a very special guest with me here today. He's the coach of the men's volleyball team here at McClatchy, and he's tracked me down for a while to join the team. Coach Ken Kitade, everybody. Welcome on, Coach. All right. First of all, how are you, and how has your family been during the quarantine and just the past year when a lot of things have been changing?
Yeah, I think, definitely the pandemic has been challenging, but I think we're all surviving and actually doing better than that. My mom is 100 years old and she'll be 101 in January, and
Wow.
she's still doing well. My golf game is getting a little bit better. So I've had a little time to go golfing, and unfortunately haven't had much time to spend with the team on volleyball.
That's good to hear, though, that things are going somewhat well. So, going to the team, you're coming off a nearly undefeated season. Before the pandemic ended it a little bit short. What do you think was contributing to your team's success?
Well, I think so. We were 9-1, 2-0 in league. Part of it was due to scheduling, good scheduling on my part. We played a couple of good teams like Elk Grove and Davis, and were able to defeat them early in the season. It was an interesting team. We ended up with 18 players on the team, which is probably way too many. Probably between 12 and 15 is ideal, to give everybody playing time. But everybody that came out had a great attitude. I mean, that's the biggest difference for us. Everybody had a great attitude, and the team culture was very good. And it was actually a lot of fun this year. So, and that's all the credit goes to the guys that came in and worked hard and still had fun without goofing off. They all wanted to play, and even being 9-1, I think everybody got to play quite a bit, even if probably 6 or 7 came in and never played volleyball before, and were able to get in and get some playing time too. So I think that to me is the biggest accomplishment of that team, is that they worked that hard to be able to improve their skills enough so that they could actually get some playing time.
What do you think led to the chemistry between your team? Like, what helped to build this connection that led to this team?
Well, so several seniors came in, never having to play volleyball, much like how you would come in this year.
Yeah.
Decided to play, but they had a great attitude. They wanted to learn. They did learn. They worked hard and had fun. They enjoyed playing. So, like I said before, it's to their credit, and I drew a lot of pleasure from watching that. So,
going to you for a little bit, what got you involved in volleyball and led you to coach at McClatchy?
So, ironically, I first played volleyball in PE at Cal Middle School, probably over 50 years ago, and didn't get to really play again until I started attending UC Davis, and they had a volleyball class. Started out there. I had a great teacher, great coach and mentor, and learned quite a bit, and it just fostered my love for the sport. So, yeah, that's where it started.
And what led you to coach at McClatchy?
So, my youngest son, Grant, wanted to play, and he started out as a freshman, and they had a JV coach, but he was inexperienced, so I volunteered to help out, and that's how I got started. So volunteered for several years, and then took over the varsity program and actually coached my son. I was able to coach my son for 1 year before he graduated.
Nice. Um, okay, so you had a son that played. A lot of the coaches I've talked to so far, they've had children that have played, and there's been some interesting dynamics. How well did that work for you? Like, was it something where you clicked, or was it something where it wasn't easy?
Well, it's good and bad. I think the dynamics could have been better on both of our parts. I think it was hard, and I expected a little bit more from him, just because he was my son. I didn't, cut him any favors, any slack. He had to work his way, and to his credit, he did. He didn't always agree with what I was trying to tell him, but for the most part, we survived.
You made it through.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt that he was probably, if not the best player on the team, he was one of the best players.
That always helps out.
Yeah.
So going back a little bit, you talked about you went to Cal Middle, you went to Davis, like you grew up in the Sacramento area. What was it like for you growing up here and then coming back and living here as an adult? And what brought you back?
So let's see. There's, we're talking about 40 or 50 years here. So
yeah.
Graduated from Davis, ended up working for the state, the Department of Food and Agriculture, was offered a job in Long Beach, California, spent probably 9 years living in Southern California on the beach, living a great life. Didn't always have a lot of money, but I was living on the beach. I was on vacation every day,
That is nice.
Yeah. So got married and moved back to Sacramento to start a family, and all that worked out pretty well.
So you mentioned you worked with the California Department of Food and Agriculture. Did that give you like a unique perspective with the pandemic, with like the sanitation aspect of it all?
So the part that I worked in, the department, the branch that I worked for, and dealt with some food safety issues. So yes, it kind of gave me some insight. I knew how the government was going to work as far as food safety and health safety. A lot of things that's happened doesn't surprise me. CDC is equivalent to FDA at the federal level, and they have their bureaucracy, but they also have their scientists. So, keeping politics out of food safety and human health safety is critical in order to get it right. Whether it's Democratic or the Republicans that are in charge, it doesn't matter. The politics have to
safety comes
stay uninvolved so that the people that are doing the work can do their work.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so seeing all this helped to you had some insight going into all of this.
I understand how it's going down.
Mm-hmm.
How the politics is interfering with actually what needs to get done. I'm assuming that the health safety experts are still able to do their work, no matter all the politics that we're seeing. I'm hoping that they're still accomplishing their goals as far as protecting us. And I'm pretty sure that's what's happening.
Yeah, hopefully. So what do you miss most about being around your team during what would be the off season, heading into the season, just being around the guys?
Well, I think, as athletes mature and teams mature, the challenge for me increases. It goes up because now I have to coach at a higher level. And that's what was going to happen this year. Even though we graduated a lot of our veteran players, the guys that are coming back are going to be still at a fairly advanced level, and the competition's going to be tougher for us this year, and it's our challenge to step up. And that's the part I'm missing, getting these guys prepared to do that, and we're not being able to do that right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully spring, some semblance of a season.
So you're right. So December 14th is our start.
Mm-hmm.
We can start practicing. There's still no guarantee that there's going to be a season. I'm still proceeding like we're going to have a season, starting to think about, assistant coaches, practices, what we want to emphasize this year. I've already given that a lot of thought, starting to arrange for our preseason matches. So still accomplishing a lot.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit, you had a lot of seniors that graduated last year. What are your thoughts about the future of the program heading forward?
So the challenge always is, having some continuity, right? And convincing the guys to play volleyball. And there's always some resistance. You can speak to that, Ethan. But it's a fun sport. It's dynamic. It's a team sport. Depends on teamwork, leadership, lots of skills, and we still have a lot of fun. So hopefully our future is going to be good as long as we can still recruit some athletes. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter, to me, I think if there's guys that want to play and they're there for the right reason, I think we're going to be okay.
That's good. Yeah, I may come play this spring. If I have to see when basketball season is, how it overlaps, because I know everything's like on top of each other this year. So it's
condensed. So you got to spend time in the gym.
Yeah, I'll be there. So we'll see. All right. You talked a little bit so you lived in Long Beach for a while. I know that you have done some work as like a referee for volleyball matches. Like you travel around a little bit. What's the best spot you found touring the West Coast and California?
Well, so I actually got to referee at the University of Hawaii, at the Stan Sheriff Arena. There's, back 10, 15 years ago, even back then, there was, up 6,000 to 10,000 fans in the arena. And, having that many people excited about volleyball and it's always cool. So I would say that so far that's been the best place.
Hawaii is probably. I don't think people are going to argue with you about putting Hawaii high on the list. Yeah. You talked about a little bit getting a little more golf action in. Have you picked up any other new habits or hobbies or anything during quarantine?
No, did a little bit of watching on TV for a while and got tired of that. So, try to get out and get on the course, do something, 2 or 3 times a week. And that helps get some fresh air. And so I'm not sure what's going to happen during the winter time. Our weather during the winter usually is fairly mild, so hopefully we can continue with a lot of things. We have to do some training outside of the gym during December. Maybe we can still do that. Gym time's going to be pretty demanding, right? Basketball, and then we're playing the same time as the girls. So they have 3 teams.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know about that. There's 4 volleyball teams, 5 basketball teams. Yeah, it's going to be busy.
Yeah, so we're going to be fighting for court time. So, and actually, men's volleyball is starting a month earlier than usual. So we usually start in the toward the middle of January, but this year we're starting in the middle of December. So we'll see.
It's going to be a while.
The way I look at it is if we can put people in planes, right, for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever it is, and people are okay, then maybe we should be able to play volleyball and still have some fans. If we do the right thing.
Hopefully. I know they're talking about potentially like live streaming some of the games so that people at home can watch them. So
Yeah.
I think that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any final words of wisdom or a quote or anything you'd like to share with us, Coach, before we wrap this up?
Oh, no quotes for sure. I think whether you play volleyball or not, that's okay. I think there's a lot of things you can learn from playing sports, right? Even leadership, teamwork, perseverance, critical thinking, strategy. All those apply to your everyday life. Communication, how you communicate with your coach, your teammates, your parents, your boss, your coworkers, the whole thing. So I think I encourage everybody to play at least one sport. And hopefully it's volleyball, but if not, I'm okay with it.
There's other good ones too. All right. Thank you so much for Coach Kitade for coming on and talking with us about volleyball and his experience in the Sacramento area and everything else along the way. I had a great time. I may even play volleyball next year. But, thank you, Coach.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. All right. Come back next week, and thank you for watching.